Hello there and welcome back to Tatooine Tableflip. I'm Jimmy and today I'll be unboxing Sherlock Holmes Consulting Detective, the new version called Thames Murders and Other Cases. And in something a little different, I'm going to compare it to the old Ystari version at the end of the video. So please stay tuned for that. Let's get this thing open and have a look. Okay, so as you see, we have some really nice artwork evocative of the Sherlock Holmes mythos. The title of the game down here. It's very nice sepia toned. I really like that a lot. It's in the nice new slip cases that Space Cowboys are packaging the Sherlock Holmes Consulting Detective sets in. The back here shows some of the components, which so far, without having seen the contents of the box, they look really similar to the original Ystari set that we're going to be comparing this to at the end of the video. Down here they even show a picture of the old Ystari set. And I have this one as well. It's very nice, but there was a lot of problems with spelling and grammar, including one of the cases that supposedly was unsolvable because of these spelling and grammar errors. It was one that I hadn't had a chance to try to work through, but this set fixes those translation errors and supposedly cleans all of the cases up, but it's the same 10 cases. It talks about that here on the back of the box, that it was the same 10 included in that set. I absolutely adore these slipcover cases they put these in. Wow, these look really nice. Another neat little kind of an Easter egg. Once you solve all the cases, the other Jack the Ripper set was like this as well. They've numbered the boxes, and they're kind of working in backwards order, but that's okay. This one is, of course, number 1. The Ripper, I believe, was number 3, but without looking at it, I can't remember. But then it has the title of the game and solved, print stamped at the top here. So it starts in the box on the blank side. This one's printed in black, so it's kind of hard to see. But yeah, the intent is that once you solve all the cases, you flip the tray around, and now you're showing the solved side. The rulebook, comparable to, again, the Ystari version. It's got different artwork on the front. That's really cool. It's a nice picture of a Sherlock Holmes there. And we'll try to, I'm going to try to be as spoiler free as possible with these things. So if I do open the case books at all, there's a nice picture, then I'll try to just breeze through them very quickly. The London directory. As you're playing the game, you'll be directed in the case books to certain coordinates, if you will, on the map. And if you come here in, you can look at the map, or you can look at this book and it'll give you the coordinates, and it's essentially tells you what next passage to read in the book. This color map of London. This this looks pretty much like the same map. I'm pretty sure it's the same thing, but I think now it has a brown border. Again, when we do that, yeah, it's definitely brown on the back. We'll compare it here in a few minutes. We'll know a little better. I haven't had the original Ystari version out for some time. Here's the 10 included newspapers. Each one corresponds to one of the cases in the game. And finally, the case books. And oh, they're very slippery. I don't think the Ystari version is slippery. I don't remember them being, but envelope at the back, the questions at the back you answer at the end. We'll just kind of page through these here a little bit. Some of these look like they have the same piece of artwork on the cover as the original version. Really nice, very high quality. I really like this set. nice quality components. And there you have it. Sherlock Holmes Consulting Detective, The Thames Murders and Other Cases. And there you have it. Sherlock Holmes Consulting Detective, Thames Murders and Other Cases. Right up the front, before we start comparing, I'm going to have to say that this set is gorgeous. These are absolutely beautiful components. The attention to the artwork quality and the printing quality, everything is far and above the old Ystari version. And I'll kind of go through and talk about that a little bit as we compare these. This is the old Ystari version. This was out of print for some time and was actually going for some pretty ridiculous prices on eBay and and on Craigslist and things like that. While it was out of print, despite having the grammar errors and spelling errors and such that I talked about earlier, people were paying huge amounts of money for this set because it really is a fantastic game, despite its issues. The first thing I want to show you here is this. This is the map of London, and the old Ystari version is smaller than the new Space Monkeys version. I'll show you that in a minute, but it feels like an old, maybe like an ink and line drawing. And now that I've been exposed to this one, this just looks kind of cheap. I don't really like calling it that, but for lack of a better word, I'm really impressed with the new map, and I was impressed with the old map, and now not so much. But here's the new one. You can see it's slightly bigger. It's on a little better height, a little better quality paper. All of the lines, where these felt like little blobs that just drew a general shape, these are less so. It looks more like an actual aerial shot of a map, as if it had been colorized. It's really nicely done. The colors are muted, but still looks incredibly nice. I mean, I'm kind of blown away by the quality of components of this new set. This is, despite the numbers being all over the place, I would be willing to frame this and put it on the wall here in the studio, as opposed to the Ystari version. I would not. I'd just leave it in the box and use it strictly for the game. The next thing we'll compare is the London directory. You can see that the new Space Monkeys version is quite a bit larger. The printing inside is a little bit larger. So, if anybody in your game group has any kind of vision issues, this is actually easier to look at, in my opinion. And it just looks nicer. They're both on comparatively the same quality paper, but man, this thing just looks gorgeous. It looks really nice. Where this one looks like an 80s version of this game, and I can't recall at the moment when the Ystari version actually came out, but it has been some time. But again, it in my opinion just can't compare. These are nice. Don't get me wrong, but this set is beautiful. And okay, so we move on to the rulebook here, and whereas this one is just a picture of the box art, it's on fairly decent quality paper, and it's fairly easy to read, and the pages are they're made to look as if they're stained and old and etc. and just antique-ish, whereas this one is nice, crisp, clean, a little bit of faux staining around the edges, antiquing or printing, if you will, but a little bit better quality, I think, and a nicer picture. They didn't just reprint the box art in the front. It's that really nice picture I showed you earlier of Sherlock Holmes apparently lost in contemplation. We'll move on to the case books, and this is where the new Space Monkeys set really begins to shine, quality-wise, because, man, they're the nice, glossy, heavyweight paper, and the printing inside is nice, and it's just crystal clear, very easy to look at. The only difference between these two, besides, of course, these just now look like old leather binders as opposed to these old, dirty, stained, beat up. They look like wallpaper like old style wallpaper print behind the artwork and such. The artwork for each is maintained. The new set, the artwork pops just a little more than the old set, but really that's about the only difference. And I haven't had a chance, of course, to get into this yet. I'm going to replay some of the ones I've already played and then finish out the ones that I have not played from this set, because I have a list from Board Game Geek. I'm really interested to compare all of the known listed grammar, spelling, and other translation issues, especially one of the cases that, and I'm not going to say which one because I want to see it for myself before I mention it, but one of them supposedly, as I mentioned earlier, supposedly is unsolvable the way it was printed in the Ystari version. I'm really interested to see how they clean that up for the new Space Monkeys version. All of the cases have the same artwork with the exception of, see if I can find it real quick here, case number 9. 9 in the Ystari version has this artwork. Looks like someone's fallen and papers are fluttering to the floor. And this one is a picture of that appears to be a guy deceased at his desk. And other than that, there's these, again, these kind of, the Ystari version, oh man, they really didn't go to a lot of trouble. I think they must have gotten hold of the rights to the game when they just cracked this thing out as fast as they could. And while it was completely worth owning, because it's such a fantastic game, this new version just kicks it up a notch. I mean, this just takes it to another level completely. As I've said already, it's just they're much higher quality components, and it's just fantastic to look at. It really is just a gorgeous set. The newspapers from each are, and I haven't, of course, had a chance to really look through them yet. I'm really looking forward to that, but same quality paper. However, this has a little bit larger printing than the Space Monkeys version, but also it's a different font. And in my opinion, this one's, now that I've, again, been exposed to the new version, this is a little difficult to look at. I didn't notice it playing through the few cases I had played the first time, but now that I see these new ones with the smaller, easier on the eyes font, these are a little rough to look at. If this were my first exposure to the game, as it was for me, then, and many of you as well probably, then it would have been fine. It's totally serviceable. It was loads of fun to play. I really liked going through, but boy, I tell you, if I would have seen the game in this version, say with a friend of mine or something, and then the only one I could find was this version, I would actually feel kind of ripped off. It feels overall just cheaper all the way around. Artwork, component-wise, the quality, everything just feels a little bit cheaper, and it's not as beautiful as this set is. Hey, that's gonna do it for this unboxing. If you guys would like to comment or give us a suggestion for other unboxings or any of the reviews we usually do, you can get a hold of us online at boardgamerblues.com, or you can find us on Facebook and Twitter at @BoardGamerBlues. If you want to email me directly and shout at me or call me names or make suggestions for the show or tell me what else you'd like to see, some of the feedback I've had has been really good in that respect, and so we're looking at making a few minor changes here and there. But it's Jimmie at boardgamerblues.com. That's JIMMIE at boardgamerblues.com. Thanks for watching, everybody, and stay tuned for more unboxings and other reviews, and hit the subscribe button if you like. Thanks, and I'll see you next time. Bye.